Last week, I started my last rotation of medical school. This month, I'm back in Montgomery working on medicine wards, a time I wasn't looking forward to. I don't particularly like Montgomery, Alabama, so I was scared this rotation would lower my spirits. Instead, my late start on setting intentions for this new year have paid off, and I'm actually enjoying medicine again. Montgomery, that I'm tolerating. I hope you enjoy my breakdown of how I got myself out of the dumps and on the path towards positivity for 2021. Thanks for watching. This week, we are going to talk about some 2021 aspirations, depression, confidence, and this new thing that I'm trying to do called a weekly review. So I'm going to show you guys how I kind of got myself together last week. I started a new rotation, so I'm on my medicine acting internship, and I am trying to just become a little bit more organized. And even though it's over a month into 2021, I didn't do any of the normal let's, reset, recharge type New Year things. So I'm doing them now because my birthday was at the end of January. I feel a little bit more ready and prepared for this type of thing, and it's never too late. So let's get into it. So I found this basic idea of a weekly check-in on this YouTuber's channel. Her name is Asia Jackson, and I'll link the weekly reset video that she posted a while ago underneath this video. But I loved that she does this on a weekly basis instead of, a daily basis. I've always been told to journal. I've tried so many different ways of journaling and just trying to keep up with my feelings and reflect, and when I tried to do it on a daily basis, it just felt like another chore, honestly. Why am I making something that's supposed to be positive in my life turn into something that makes me feel down about myself and makes me feel like I'm not accomplishing enough? So I loved that she does this on a weekly basis. So she said every Sunday she gets up and she will make herself a nice breakfast and coffee. Something I didn't do was the breakfast part of it. I just don't have any food in here because I've been in Montgomery all week. So I think I'm gonna end up buying something. But yeah, so she gets up, she cleans her apartment, and then she sits down and does this weekly reset. And in it, she talks about the things that went really well, which she says are her wins, and then she talks about what's not working in her life, so things that she may have tried that didn't work out very well, things like moments that were really a struggle, and then she writes what she can do about it. And that was the key. The idea of journaling and reflecting is supposed to be that with the goal of fixing it later, right? You're not just supposed to be complaining to a piece of paper, you're supposed to be trying to fix it. Went really well was talking to two people from my top choice residency, and it gave me a lot of reassurance, and so that's great. I've been really stressing about how to rank my programs, and I'm really glad that I talked to those people and reached out. Values check-in, mind and body. I did one shower without a podcast. We're working on it, okay? And then I worked out 4 days this week, which is really good for me. The week before that, I probably worked out once. Then for YouTube, I created that entire video inventory and planned out 2 videos. And for reading, I started Codependent No More. Didn't really do anything else besides that. But that's great. We started something. So that's what I'm going to do for my weekly check-in. Speaking of started, that is going to be my word. So I think you're supposed to do your New Year's resolutions, and I have never been good at New Year's resolutions probably because I'm not mindful and I'm not reflecting on the things that need to change in my life, right? So I've seen a lot of people this year talking about setting a new word for their year. Instead of doing a resolution, they set a word that is going to be their guideline for how they're going to live this year. And I think mine is going to be start. So literally just get up and let's start. So that leads me on to like how I'm aiming to like do this journey and keep myself accountable. And so I kind of leaned back into an idea from studying for step 1, which is to choose your tools, choose your resources before you start, and then stick to them. Don't try and grab and jump to new things every second. You need to choose what you think is going to work for you and stick to it. So my tools for my journey in mindfulness and becoming my own best friend: therapy. I am planning to do therapy every 2 to 3 weeks. Antidepressants and my other medications. Just being a responsible adult and taking my meds. I have a pill box, and it just makes no sense how you can have a pill box and still not refill the pills. So we're gonna do that. We're going to refill the pills and we're going to take them every single day. Those are goals. Also, SMART goals. SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So every time I talk to my therapist, we come up with new SMART goals. And this week's SMART goals: work out at least 3 times a week. I just got the Peloton app, so I have a free trial for that. And then what was the other one? Oh, to have moments of mindfulness, meaning like I have to have 1 meal a day or a shower where I don't listen to anything else, don't watch anything else. I just live in the moment and appreciate what's happening. You know, the feeling of hot water on my skin, or, you know, the taste of my food that I made, and whatever. So the reasoning for a little crooked, huh? Okay, I think that's a little bit better, right? Yeah, so we're late, but we're here. It's never, I feel like it's just like never too late to set goals for yourself. 2020 was obviously really hard for everyone. I'm thankful for the fact that I did not physically lose anyone from this world due to coronavirus. I did lose my grandfather just at the beginning of the pandemic, and thankfully I was able to go to his funeral right before things got really serious. But 2020, it's been a mess for many reasons. If you don't know, in your 3rd and 4th years of medical school, you do rotations. So when coronavirus hit and hospitals had to decide whether or not medical students should stay in the hospital, UAB chose to remove medical students from their rotations. And we stayed off rotation for about 2 months. Okay, I guess we decided that this was his time to go and chew on a bone, so we'll see. Hopefully he'll stay quiet. So because of that, my rotation schedule, as well as my schedule for taking my board exam step 2 CK, got completely wiped out, completely changed. And I was in Montgomery doing my 3rd year rotations. I had an entire lease in Montgomery that was going to end in June, and all of a sudden I was going to have to do more rotations down there until August, and that was a huge deal to me. I really didn't like Montgomery. It's a much smaller city than Birmingham, and Birmingham is already kind of a small city for me, and it felt really isolating. A lot of my classmates were not going to have to make up things immediately in Montgomery, and so having that like friendship, the ability to see your friends on a weekly basis, whether in the hospital or like out and about, was going to be gone. So that was really stressful. I also went through a breakup in 2020, which was not fun at all, and honestly is the reason why I'm here today making this YouTube, and the reason why I am in a better place. I think in professional school and medical school in general, people can get really caught up just on this conveyor belt of doing the things that they're supposed to do. You have so many guidelines, you have so many people telling you what your goals are that you don't necessarily set them for yourself. I was definitely just living for the day that I was no longer going to have to go to Montgomery. And then COVID happened and that pushed it back. It made everything so much harder. And then I was just kind of living for seeing my boyfriend on the weekends, and you know, you can't live for seeing someone else. Like, you can't live for your interactions with other people. And that's honestly how I have lived a lot of my life. I am a very social person. I love keeping up with my friends. What that does is set you up for a lot of disappointment when other people aren't available to spend time with you, and when, you know, things like a breakup happen, you know, what are you going to do about that? You lose this person that you were relying on for so much of your comfort and your time. So I never spent time alone, and I had a meeting with my therapist a couple of weeks ago before I decided to do all of this, and she was kind of like surprised by like how true that was. When I say I never spent time alone, I didn't spend time alone with my thoughts really at all. So like, I'm telling y'all, I listen to podcasts and watch YouTube all the time. I love it. And I justified watching and listening to so many other people because I was like, well, I like this. It gives me happiness, right? So I enjoy doing it. I'm going to keep doing it regardless of, you know, if I need to be reflecting on something or taking care of myself in another way. And so I was waking up, immediately turning on my news podcast and hearing about, you know, Trump and weather issues and all this stuff. And then, you know, brushing my teeth to a podcast at night, taking showers with a YouTube video playing or podcast playing. Like, I literally had zero time where I wasn't listening to someone else's words. And that is just not sustainable. I was not reflecting on what I wanted or needed. And that's my goal. That's my goal for the next, we'll just say forever. Like, I'm going to start reflecting a lot more. I need to spend more time with myself and really pay attention to what I need and want. And part of that is choosing a residency. And so this whole year has also included that huge weight of finishing medical school and choosing a residency and choosing what city I want to live in for the next 4 years and how I want my career to start off. You know, this is a time where I should be reflecting a lot and I really wasn't. So to get back to, you know, the full outline, let's see, some background. I am taking antidepressants. I am in therapy, and a lot of that is I've always been a very anxious person, and I finally gave in to the fact in like late 2019 that I was also depressed. I think in professional school, the words burnout are used so often that people don't recognize that it's not okay to just be tired all the time. It's not okay to hate what you're doing and dread going to work. It's not okay to feel like you don't have time for things that sustain you, like working out or cooking. It's not normal. That's not something that people should be doing. And I think in the United States, and especially in professions like medicine, law, all these other like high energy, high time input professions, it's like seen as just part of the territory, and that's not fair to us. You know, I'm literally 26 and I feel like I have no time, you know, and God willing, I will live for many, many years to come, right? I was always looking forward to the future instead of living in the present. Like, I was always looking forward to finishing this rotation, finishing this project, finishing Montgomery, finishing this, finishing that, moving, whatever. Like, all of these things I was looking forward to, but I was never living in the moment and enjoying the time that I currently had. And I was spending so much time on social media, and I mean, honestly, I love Twitter, so I'm never going to be the person that's like, you need to completely delete your social media in order to be a whole person and be reflective. But it should not be the only thing that you like look forward to in the day. And that's kind of where I was getting at certain points. I wasn't living in the moment and just recognizing, like, you have accomplished a goal you've had for years. You've wanted to get a dog, you've wanted to live alone and decorate a space and whatever, and you're doing all of that. And like, you know, I wasn't happy. I still wasn't happy because I wasn't like reflecting on that and being like, wow, like I've really accomplished something great. My research project to graduate was literally due at February 1st, and I felt like so incapable of finishing this research project that I've been working on for over 1.5 years. And yeah, I was scared. I was really scared of finishing interviews, scared of creating a rank list, scared of, you know, moving to residency and like making leaps to places that I hadn't been, because this whole interview season has been on Zoom. So even if I've been to the city, I've never seen these facilities, I haven't met these people face to face, and so that was all really scary. And that's something that everyone in my class of medical school is going through. It's not, you know, unique to me, but it is definitely very scary. And I really started this YouTube channel as a way to find some meaning in my life for me that doesn't like involve medicine. And in all honesty, in only 3 or 4 weeks, it's already made me fall back in love with medicine and with teaching and with the idea of being a doctor. And, you know, hopefully that maintains itself throughout the next few, you know, months and years. But it's just like, again, like reflecting on things and recognizing how much I have accomplished has been so helpful for my mental health and my sanity and like loving myself and loving becoming a doctor. I finally like got excited about all of these things that I was dreading. I was so scared of so many things. And, you know, again, like living life in fear as a young person is just not fair to myself and my soul. And I also started reading this book called Codependent No More, and got read for fills in like the first 5 minutes. And my previous therapist or counselor had told me to read this book, and I finally got it off of Libby, which is a library app that I feel like so many people already know about. But if you don't, I'll like link it below. It's great. All you need is a library card for your local library, and you can get access to so many books. Only thing is, for someone like me who does not read as quickly as we used to in middle school, you know, at the height of the Twilight books, you can run out of time to read them. And so like I have put a hold on this book multiple times and like failed to finish it, and I probably won't finish it this time either, but it's okay, I started, and that's all that matters. And I have like so many highlights from it, and it's got little activities in it. Like I have it on my Kindle app. Let's see, will it like, okay, yeah, little activities that you can do at the end of each like chapter. And yeah, I think it's really great, and I am looking forward to continuing to use that. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, subscribe, and comment below if you have anything that you're using for 2021 to make this year better than last year.